I have a delightful woman with me right now. She is just as charming as you could possibly want, and her name really epitomizes this, Angel. Her name is Angel Chan. She's a master trainer in Pilates and a veteran teacher of yoga, group exercise, and personal training. She's skilled at restoration, mindfulness, meditation, and building the body from the inside out. She shares intricacies in training, which are often overlooked by strength and conditioning coaches. Now, I've already said that she's a master trainer in Pilates, and she's a chief operating officer, because this is absolutely the Women in Business show. And she's a personal business assistant to Peter Twist, but she's also the director of the China Project Development. Please welcome Angel. How are you?
How are you? Thank you so much
for
having me.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
But tell me what that means, being director of the China Project Development. We've heard Peter talk about opening in China and working with Chinese athletes and so forth. Really, what is it that you do?
It's mainly because, I think Western culture and Eastern culture is a little bit different. So when Peter come into the China, and I see that, it's an opportunity. It's a big opportunity, and I think I can learn a lot from that. So it's myself to request that, Peter, can I actually involve to that and helping you to do translation and tell you the culture different, so we can go smoother to get to this project and make it bigger and better.
So let me ask you, because I don't think a lot of our listening audience really knows much about China and what physical conditioning means to China. I mean, you don't think of China as having gyms or people working out. I mean, you just don't, and that could be our bias. So were you involved heavily in fitness before meeting Peter, or what were you doing?
Yes, actually, I was involved in the fitness industry 20 years ago. So when there has a 24-hour fitness coming to Hong Kong, the opening a first gym in Hong Kong, I was the one that actually involved to help them to open.
Interesting.
In Hong Kong.
4-hour fitness. It's interesting. I go to 24-hour fitness when I'm in San Diego. I belong to 3 different gyms. I live in 3 different cities, and so they don't have the same gyms in all the cities that I'm in. So I belong to different ones in different cities, and 24-hour fitness is the one I go to in San Diego.
Yeah.
So you actually were involved in fitness when 24-hour came, and then you took advantage of that, went to them and said, I'm your person.
Yes, it's actually quite a story, because when the owner coming in to their name is California Fitness. When they come in, it's not 24-hour fitness. They come in, everyone in Asia is actually in Hong Kong saying to the owner and saying that Asians don't work out because they are already slim.
Right. Well, that's the impression. That's right.
So, but the founder is saying that, no, I'm going to do it, and they open it, and I'm not the one open the first one, but I see this as an opportunity, and I was the other gyms manager before. I was looking at that this is pretty cool, I really want to involve with something bigger. So I actually go to them and say, okay, can you just hire me as an aerobic instructor? So it takes time. It took quite a bit of time to make them hire me, and then, try to talk to the owner and things like that. And finally, I get to promote to manager, country manager, and they send me to Taiwan, Singapore, Korea, and Thailand to open their gyms.
It's interesting. You're epitomizing what I talk about. I talk about that success equals persistence and discipline. That's what it takes to be successful. And I'm very persistent. That's, I think, a bad characteristic and a good characteristic all rolled into one. But you're epitomizing that.
Yes.
You're saying, look, hire me. I'll do anything. Hire me, and then I'll prove how good I am. Because women are always saying to me, all the obstacles they face, all the things that they're involved with. And you're in an Asian culture where women are not necessarily thought of as CEOs or as leaders necessarily. So that was another bias that you had to get over.
Yes, it's pretty true because like when I was starting as a aerobic instructor, but come to around, I was a personal trainer and I was the head of personal trainer. I'm handling like 400 trainers. I've been through some hard times, like, the big guys. Try to make them understand that I'm helping them. I go through a lot, you try to be tough on them, but that's not going to work. You cannot just talk to the guys. So you have to do a lot of way that make them understand that you're helping them, you're professional. It's not saying that you're better than them, but we learn from each other. So time by time, they understand that, like, you're not the boss. Like, we are working together.
We're a team.
We're a team,
right.
It's making them feeling that we're helping each other. I'm just one of you. I'm doing the same thing. I'm training clients and all that. But I'm charging higher because I'm better. I use this way, but they will say, look up on me because I'm actually charging higher than them. So we say, how can I charge higher than them? I will explain to them, like, this is what you have to do. So I think setting as a sample is more than you make a big noise.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, that's very interesting. So how did Peter come into your life?
Okay, so I think it's like 3 years ago in the Asia Fit Convention. I went to his section. And I was like, wow, this guy is really inspired. I was trying to actually get to know him on that section, but they have 100 people around him.
That's right. It's like Peter, the Pied Piper, and they follow him all over the place.
Yeah,
right.
It's like there's 100 people around him. And I said, okay, forget it. So time by time, I was like, okay, I even try to add him on the Facebook. I cannot because he has like more than 5,000 friends. So I cannot. I've worked for a while. I think for a year. I try again. I can add on. Add him as a friend, and I talk to him. I see he is so inspired. We talk. We share a lot of ideas, and I'm really into like yoga and Pilates, and I see he's doing all that functional training. That is not in Asia yet. No one know. I just say just now it's like no one knows it's like physical conditioning, functional training. Still now they don't know what is functional training, what is performance training. So I think this is a perfect opportunity that I can bring something really good to Asia to make the fitness industry getting better. It's not like now, it's like 20 years ago, it's about 24-hour fitness. It's about like, say, gym. But the generation is different now. It's really different, like you run on the treadmill and the people now is not running on the treadmill anymore.
So are you saying that there is a change in how fitness is taught and how fitness is regarded?
Yeah.
And the younger generation, the millennials and so forth, want a different kind of workout.
Yeah. So it's just like they're more outdoor now. They like to go out to one. The marathon is like they have 100 marathon a year, and cycling. So they are doing outdoor things. The thing is like if you don't know how to run, you're going to hurt your knee. You're going to hurt your lower back. If you don't know how to cycling, it's the same thing. So this is a gap that we can actually put in performance training and functional training to make them better in perform running and cycling to be more safety.
And so what's the difference that you see in this younger generation who is probably more Western oriented at this point and the generation of the 50 plus who may never have worked out? Do you find that they're coming in and being more interested at the same time, or are you really specializing in the younger generation?
It's not actually. It's interesting part is that can come to the gym. It's more about 40 up, because up to the point that the 40 up people, they look at like, I'm only 40, but I already have a knee problem. I already have a back problem, and someone around me have cancer. Some of them is passing away. They're aware that I'm only 40. I have another 40 to go. so I have to take care of myself. Now I'm not going to wait for 50. So people that actually coming to ask for help is more 40 up.
Which is wonderful.
Yes, this is wonderful because like the 40 before, 30 before, they're still drinking, I think. They still don't know. They still don't realize that they have problems. So after 40, I'm saying, oh, I can't even walk up the stairs. You know, so this is what I found out.
Interesting. Yeah. Very, very interesting. So when you are appealing to such a vast variety of ages, how do you deal with that? I mean, do you have the 20-year-olds in the same classes as the 50-year-olds? Or I know when I go to the gym, there's every conceivable person in there that could possibly be. I mean, there's the young or the old. Some of the older ones are better than the younger ones. You know, some of the younger ones can do things that the older ones can't do. What is it like in China?
I think really it's the body condition, as you say, right? Like they have more awareness or not. But the way they change, everyone have 200-something bones and muscle. It's the same, the way you train them. I always say, I train their mind first before physical. If they don't believe what you're doing, they won't get the result. So you have to make them understand that like what they're doing is going to make them better. And the way they train is nearly the same, but it's just different timing to put in different programs.
So let's talk about when these people do this, because I'm not familiar with, I've worked in China, but I'm really not familiar with when people have to work. I mean, do they do 9-to-5 jobs and they come later in the day? Do they, I mean, we have a lot of at-home people now who work from their home, you know, telecommute or just work online. When do the people come? I mean, do they come twice a week? How often do the people work out who you see?
They actually work out 2 or 3 times a week if they really dedicated to it. Okay, and of course, we have people work 9 to 5, but we have people that they open their own business. They have people that actually is housewife. So it's all kind of people that we have. So we have like people come in the whole day, I would say.
Well, that's wonderful.
Yeah,
that's great.
It's not just like, of course, after work hour is more busy. I think it's more how we arrange the staff. It's like the personal trainer come in, the kind will come.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Whereas here, there's a lot of people that come in the morning. They come from, let's say, 6 o'clock in the morning till, let's say, 11 o'clock.
Yep.
And then the gyms could be barren from 11 to 3 or 4 or 5, and then it starts in again till 9 or 10 at night. So if you were, where do you see Angel in 5 years? What does Angel want to be in 5 years?
Wow. I think, you know, I'm helping Peter to develop this program in all Asia, and now it's in China and coming to Thailand. So I think, you know, my target is actually, for my personal, it's like I want to be more developed on, you know, like mindful things like Pilates and yoga. And for business, I think it's about like with strength conditioning that I can put in to more, like about 10 occasions at least in 5 years. That's what I
Wow, that's great. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So tell us about your background. I mean, how did you get to where you are now? I mean, how did you start out? What did you study? You know, what did you do before Peter?
Okay, so I studied in Australia. You know, I studied biomechanics and nutrition in Australia. And after I graduated, I was a stewardess in Japan Airlines. So it's kind of like.
So you had the people skill.
Yeah, the people skill, and then I did a little bit in the hotel. And at the end, I think fitness is what I really passionate about, and I think this is what can help more people. So that's why I get into, you know, fitness industry. And like 20 years ago, I go around like 5-6 countries and open up like over 30 gyms.
Wow.
Yeah, until this year. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So you had a background where you went to school out of the country,
Yep.
and then you flew for